Trans Nashville shooter is seen firing through door of private Christian school before stalking corridors with rifle as she prepared to kill 3 kids and 3 school workers. Nashville police have released footage showing the moment a transgender 28-year-old shot down the door of a Christian school she attended as a child and began stalking the corridors, assault rifle in hand. Audrey Hale arrived at the Covenant School in her Honda Fit just before 10 a.m. and killed 6 people before she was shot dead. Hale opened fire on arriving police from the 2nd floor of the school before she was confronted by Officer Rex Engelbert, a 4-year MNPD veteran, and Officer Michael Colazzo, a 9-year MNPD veteran. The pair returned fire and shot her dead. Nashville police on Monday released photos of the 2 semi-automatic rifles and handgun she had on her. A shotgun and a sawn-off shotgun were also found at her home, they confirmed. Hale can be seen arriving at the school and then shooting through the locked glass door, which shatters. Wearing a red baseball cap worn backwards, a white t-shirt covered in a tactical vest, and combat trousers, Hale is caught on camera stalking the corridors. Her victims were killed at random, police said. How the Nashville school shooting unfolded. 9:53 a.m. Hale's gray Honda Fit is seen arriving at the Covenant School in Nashville. 9:54 a.m. Hale is seen driving through the parking lot, seemingly calm. Nothing suggests anything is out of the ordinary as she finds a spot to park. 10:10 a.m. The glass front door, which was locked, is shattered as Hale opens fire. She then steps through the debris into the empty reception of the church, which is adjacent to the school. 10:13 a.m. Brandishing her assault rifle, Hale is seen entering a carpeted room inside the church, looking for any victims. The room is empty. The first call to 911 about shots being fired in the building came in at this time. 10:18 a.m. Hale is seen on the same camera inside the church still looking for victims. She opens a door into the next room. 10:19 a.m. The 28-year-old returns through the door and aims her gun. Although there is no one there, she tries another door, then returns 30 seconds later. 10:20 a.m. Hale is now walking through a wooden-floored building labeled first in the footage, past an empty reception. She stalks the corridor, then disappears from view. 10:27 a.m. Hale is shot dead on the 2nd floor of the school, having engaged officers who fired back, killing her. Police said Hale was transgender, although they haven't specified further details. She was born female, but a LinkedIn profile believed to be hers uses he/him pronouns, suggesting Hale was living as a man. On Monday night they continued to refer to Hale as she. John Drake, the chief of Nashville police, said Hale left a manifesto which suggested simmering anger at being sent to a Christian school. Hale's mother, Norma Hale, worked as a coordinator at a local church and posted about religion frequently on Facebook. The person we know as Audrey Hale, she's a 28-year-old Nashvilleian. We have belief that she went to school in the area at that actual school. There's some belief that there was some resentment for having to go to that school, said Drake, speaking to NBC News. Don't have all the details to that just yet, and that's why this incident occurred. Drake told NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt that the victims were random. She targeted random students and persons in the school, whoever she came into contact with, he said. We feel that she identifies as trans, but we are still in an initial investigation into that, and if it actually played a role in this incident. Right now we are unsure if that played a role. He said her manifesto has been turned over to the FBI. There was a map of the school with entry points and surveillance that was going to be on that day, he said. She drove to school in a car, which Nashville police said helped identify her. Active shooter Audrey Elizabeth Hale, 28, drove this Honda Fit to the Covenant Church School campus this morning and parked, the police tweeted. MNPD detectives searched it and found additional material written by Hale. At around 10:13 a.m., she opened fire at the Covenant School, shooting and killing 9-year-old Evelyn DeCoss, William Kinney and Hallie Scruggs. Hallie Scruggs was the daughter of Chad Scruggs, who since 2018 had served as the pastor at the affiliated Presbyterian Church. Substitute teacher Cynthia Peak, 61, head of school Catherine Kuntz, 60, and custodian Mike Hill, 61, were also killed. She had drawn maps of the school and had been surveilling it, according to police. We have a manifesto. We have some writings. We have a map drawn out of how this was all going to take place, said Drake. Drake said that Hale mentioned another location in her manifesto, it decided that there was too much security to launch an attack. The small school is run by a church and does not employ a school resource officer. Our community is heartbroken, the school said in a statement issued on Monday night. We are grieving tremendous loss and are in shock coming out of the terror that shattered our school and church. We are focused on loving our students, our families, our faculty and staff, and beginning the process of healing. President Joe Biden on Monday ordered flags to be flown at half-staff until Friday at sunset. He also reiterated his call for an assault weapons ban. Shortly before 10:13 a.m., Hale entered the school, shooting through a side door, and began opening fire on the second floor. Police say all of the doors were locked. Police arrived at the scene and heard the gunshots coming from the second floor. By 10:27 a.m., Hale had been shot dead. She was armed with 2 assault-style rifles and a handgun. Hale styled herself as an illustrator, drawing under the name Aiden. Hale's work included renderings of SpongeBob SquarePants, a Keith Haring tribute, and a drawing of Jack Nicholson in the film The Shining, with his infamous quote, "Here's Johnny." Parents were told to collect their children from a nearby church, but no other information has been given. I know this is probably the worst day of everyone's lives. I can't tell you how sympathetic we are, a Metro police officer was heard telling the parents as they waited at a nearby church for updates. Neighbors of the school watched as parents frantically rushed to the scene to find their children. The community where Covenant School is located is one of the most affluent in Tennessee, the Tennessean reported. The private Christian school's zip code of 37,215 has one of the state's highest average household incomes and enjoys bustling retail districts. In 2020, the 37,215 zip code ranked the area as the most expensive place to buy a home, with a median home sale price of $719,000. Shortly following the shooting, a heavy vehicle presence could be seen as ambulances and police vehicles flooded Vanderbilt University Medical Center. "Everyone as a parent are terrified," said Lisa Debisk. She told DailyMail.com, "You don't send your kid to school thinking there would be an active shooting, especially in this area. Just hearing as a parent myself, it's truly overwhelming. Seeing all the parents run up the hill to see if their children are okay." Susan Perkins, 68, told DailyMail.com that her daughter and step-grandson were in the school at the time of the shooting and unhurt. Her daughter is a communications director and her step-grandson is a 6th grade student. "I talked to my daughter and she was so busy she just couldn't talk. Just enough to say she was okay," said the mother, who lives in Knoxville, Tennessee. "I'm just shaking with fear and so sorry that this happened," she said. "I just can't hardly believe that 3 children got killed." She described Covenant School as a small, tight-knit Christian school where everyone knows and supports each other. "I did not think it would ever happen to my school, and I would like to see the guns off the street," Perkins said. Allison Grippo, 40, told DailyMail.com that she has 3 children in Covenant School who survived. As word spread of the mass shooting, she, like other parents, were directed to nearby Woodmont Baptist Church, set up as a meeting point. As they anxiously waited for their kids, she said her own children, like many others, were still speaking with investigators. "We're waiting to be reunited with our kids," Grippo told DailyMail.com. "This is just hard to understand or put into words. We praise God in all situations, good and bad." There are around 33 staff members in the school, and some 210 students. Many of those students were seen running from the building today in their school uniforms after the shooting began. Other schools in the area went into lockdown as a precaution, but there is not thought to be any additional threat. Parents gathered at a church next to the school. Tim Dunavant, a pastor at Harsville First United Methodist Church, said he hired Hill to work at the school over a decade ago. "He was the last employee that I hired when I ran the kitchen at the Covenant Church and school," said Dunavant. "That was over 13 years ago. He was still working there today when he was shot and killed. I don't know the details yet, but I have a feeling, when it all comes out, Mike's sacrifice saved lives. I have nothing factual to base that upon. I just know what kind of guy he was, and I know he's the kind of guy that would do that." He added, "Goodbye, Mike. I'm going to miss those encouraging texts out of the blue from you." Tennessee Senator Marsha Blackburn was among the first to share her condolences. "Chuck and I are heartbroken to hear about the shooting at Covenant School in Nashville. My office is in contact with federal, state, and local officials, and we stand ready to assist. Thank you to the first responders working on site. Please join us in prayer for those affected," Senator Bill Hagerty tweeted. Devastated and heartbroken about the tragic news at Covenant School, "I'm grateful to law enforcement and first responders for their heroic actions," Tennessee Governor Bill Lee tweeted. "I am closely monitoring the tragic situation at Covenant as we continue to respond. Please join us in praying for the school, congregation, and Nashville community." At a press briefing, White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre said the shooting was proof the ongoing need for stricter gun reform. First Lady Jill Biden, speaking at the National League of Cities conference on Monday, told the crowd, "We just learned about another shooting in Tennessee, a school shooting. I am truly without words. Our children deserve better. We stand with Nashville in prayer." Monday's shooting is the 129th shooting this year.